Hi students, today our topic is Unit 3 having 3 short answer questions. The first one is the Forest Conservation Act, and second one is Forest Right Act, and third one is Compensatory Afforestation Bill Fund Act. These 3 questions regarding in third unit. So these 3 questions are belongs to short answers, not for essay questions. So then I will discuss about the first topic is the Forest Conservation Act in 1980. So after that it will amended in 1988. So my dear friends, we are knowing that activities of human being very worst, particularly deforestation, particularly forests. Most of all the people and as well as the government, different state governments in India, they are using without intimation of the central government or government of India, they are using their own purposes. So that's why India drastically changed the forest area. That is, once upon a time 28% of forests in India, then drastically it fell down 22.88%. So due to these reasons, central government of India by the parliament a bill passed, that is the Forest Conservation Act. October 25th, 1980, the parliament passed this act. Entire India except Jammu and Kashmir. So now Jammu and Kashmir by the BJP government, it includes a part of India. So that's why now itself it is applicable, this act is applicable entire India including Jammu and Kashmir. Okay my dear friends, what is the main concept of Forest Conservation Act? This act having 5 sections. The most important features of this Conservation Act is, you know very well about forest areas are existing in the state governments, but it should be controlled by Government of India. So then there are some restrictions and there are some encouragements for afforestation programs and reducing deforestation. This act main theme is to protect the forest. By the protect the forest, it should encourage ecological balance and as well as biodiversity and it reduces deforestation activities by the people, by the governments of various states in India, so that we know information, we learn some information what is the Forest Conservation Act. I simply explain what is the Forest Conservation Act. The Forest Conservation Act was enacted with a view to check further deforestation, which ultimately results in ecological balance. For the purpose of ecological balance, to check the status of forests and to check the future deforestation, accordingly the previous mode therewith most apply to all forest irrespective of the nature and ownership of the classification. Irrespective of the classification means either governments, either private, private agencies, like that. So there are some features existing in this. The first feature is the state governments are not involved in the deforestation without any further information by giving to the information of central government. They should not encourage deforestation for any purpose. So then, according to this act having 5 sections, under section 2, instructions gives to the state governments. They are provide that state governments shall not make amendments except with the prior approval of the central government. State governments are not accessing according to the forest activities without prior approval, primary approval by the central government. This is a clear instruction. Every state government must and should follow by the instructions of central government according to the forests. And next one is, any reserved forests or any portion thereof shall cease to be reserved. So this is also an important point according to the Forest Conservation Act. There is no activities conducted at reserve forest by the prior information of the state governments to the central government. And another one is, any forest lands or any portions thereof may be used for any non-forest purposes. So the forest lands or any portion thereof may be used for any non-forest purpose. State governments are not interested to pay about the non-forest activities in the forest regions without any intimation of central government. This is a clear instruction which given by the central government. Another important feature is, don't lease the private persons or non-governmental organizations according to the forest regions. The state governments, for the development of their states, state government is not given to the private organizations or non-governmental organizations according to the lease of forest lands. It means forest lands are not leased to the private sectors and private persons or non-governmental organizations by the state governments without prior information of central government. This is in a clear instruction. So many states, for their own purpose, for their own economic development activities, the forest lands leased to the private projects like industrial development or quarrying or mining, some other activities, but it should not by the state governments without prior information of central government. Right. Another important thing is trees which have grown naturally in that land for the purpose of using for reforestation. So this point is very important. Trees which have grown naturally. When a forest, which forests have naturally grown plants, then it will not be destructed by the state governments without any information by the central government. State governments are very restricted by the central government according to the growing naturally plants or reforestation activities. State governments, for the purpose of reforestation, they are planting well grown plants in the future. It should be compulsory information gives to the central government. This is in a clear instruction, clear rule by the central government act, that is the Forest Conservation Act. And another important point is the act is amended. The act is amended for the better way in the protection of forests. In 1988, there must be some rules and regulations amended. What are they? The act amended, it provides advisory committee to the state governments, tribal advisory committees, state advisory committees in the according to forest. Under section 2, state government without intimation to the central government, there is no amendments for the forest activities. So some relaxation also gives to state governments by the government of India. They are under section 2 provides non-purpose means to breaking up of or clearing of any forest land or portion thereof. It means state governments are to be encouraged by the government of India according to some few conditions. Some certain conditions, central government access to the state governments for the activities of state governments. They are, one is cultivation of tea. Central government of India accessibility under section 2 for these activities. What are these? They are cultivation of tea, coffee, spices, rubber plants, and observing oil bearing plants and horticulture, medicinal plants. All these plants, all these activities, purely they are accessibility providing by this act. This act is exemplaries for some activities done by the state governments under section 2. One is cultivation of tea, coffee, spices, rubber products, oil bearing seed plants, horticulture, and as well as medicinal plants for cultivation. So another important relaxation of state governments by the central government, that is the purpose other than reforestation but does not include any work relating. If state governments or private agencies, without destructions of reforestation, without destruction of forest, they can do some activities. They will permit. What are they? The main is ancillary conservation development of forests and wildlife, particularly to protection of wildlife, and as well as namely checkposts, constructions of checkposts for the protection of threatening areas of the wildlife. And next one is fire lines, establishment of fire lines, equipment of wireless for communication, and fencings established across the surrounding areas of the boundaries of the forest, and as well as constructions of the bridges, culverts, water holes for drinking purpose of wildlife, and as well as pipelines. All these permitted by this act at forest areas. Okay, my dear students, according to this Conservation Act, protection of the forest, what to do, deforestation activities, what not to do, systematically rules and regulations which on draft on a paper, that is nothing but Forest Conservation Act. So according to this act, who will try to describe this act and rules violation of this act, such other person or organization must and should punished 15 days judiciary punishment also existing in this Conservation Act. So finally I give some synopsis about you. This Forest Conservation Act implementing entire in India October 25th 1980. This act later it modified or amendment in 1988. This act having 5 sections. The 5 sections which relates to the protection of the forest and conserve the forest resources for the purpose of protection of wildlife and to maintain the ecological balance purpose. Okay, my dear students, they have some features. The first feature is without any prior information of Government of India by the state governments, by the central government, they do not any activities in forest areas. First one is don't lease to private persons or industrialists or development activities, and some well-growing plants, reforestation by the state governments must and should. Prior information gives to the Government of India. So, all these features we already discussed, and some exemptions of this act, they are advisory committee suggests to cultivation of the tea and coffee, spices, rubber and etc., and also encouragement of the forest and its components like wildlife protection, namely construction the check dams, and as well as wireless fire lines and communication system. Next one is fencing and bridges. They must be permitted by this act. So my dear students, this act is very important act to protection of wildlife and as well as the nature. Thank you. Students, today already we discussed about Forest Conservation Act. Now I am going to another important short type of question in our examination point of view. So that is Forest Right Act. This is also called as Tribal Bill Act, Tribal Land Act. Forest Right Act is also called as Forest Bill Act, Tribal Rights Act, Tribal Land Act, and as well as Tribal Free Act. Okay, what is Forest Right Act? Students, there are three types of civilians population, regarding to three types. One is urban people, second one is rural people, third one is tribal people. Tribals are of our ancestors. Tribals are ancestors of we. So then there are in India nearly 20 to 24% of the people, they are belongs to tribal people. So then they are suppressed nearly 200 years. Why? Because they don't have any special rights. The tribal people more than they are mainly depend upon forest regions. Their livelihoods continue in the tribal areas like forests, hill regions. So my dear students, they are denied, they are suppressed by our colonial administration. According to that, after independence of India, the constitutional rights which existing in our constitution, our parliament gives us their rights by an act that is nothing but Forest Right Act. It is in 2006, December 18, it was implementing in December 18. What is the main the Forest Right Act implemented by the Government of India December 18th 2006. What is the necessity of introducing this Tribal Bill Act? The main tribal community to land and other resources denied to them over decades, nearly 200 years, as a result of the continuance of colonial forest land in India. Colonial system, so it depresses tribal rights, their system. So then the government introducing this act. So then this act existing in, there are so many rights provided by the government. So then they are, we will discuss. So the first one is the right which are included in the section 3 or in 1. There are so many rights provided by the act. In section 3(1), they have so many rights provided by Forest Right Act regarding tribal peoples. So then first one is right to hold and live in the forest land, individual and common occupation for habitat. My dear students, tribals more than they are live, their livelihoods live, they continue into the forest areas. So then they have a right to hold and live in the forest lands. According to this, Forest Right Act gives a freedom of right to hold and live in the forest land, individual and as well as community, common occupation for habitat. They are living in forest areas, they are freely to live and live there, continue their lives into forest areas. This is a great support of tribal people in India. And another important feature which existing in this act is abolition of intermediaries and jamindaris. In before of this act, there are some uncertainty conditions faced by tribals, that is nothing but jamindari system and as well as some landlord system which existing in the forest areas. They are controlled and the tribal people, entire the tribals are unholding of jamindaris and as well as intermediaries. There is no rights on those days, particularly tribals. So then after this implementation of this act, so then abolishing jamindari system and as well as intermediaries like landlords or something, kinship system like that. And another important feature is right to ownership, access to collect, use and dispose of minor forest products. The tribal people having a right by this, their ownership of their resources in tribal areas, access to collect and use, dispose forest products, nearby forest products, they collect. It gives the freedom to collect the raw material or food material or some other accessories and use, collect and use for their own purpose and giving into the market, like purchasing in the market, dispose in minor forest products. It is linked with only minor products which relates to the forest areas. They are like firewood, tribal forest products like honey, some of the leaves, some of the medicinal issues, commodities, they are collected from the forest and they are purchasing it in the markets. I give a small example. There are so many aroma oils or aroma soaps like that. They are collected in the forest regions and they sold into the market. The best example is in Visakhapatnam, tribal people, tribal cooperative society, which is collected all the commodities in the availability in the forest. Then they are sold at the market by the help of Girijan, is in a cooperative society. We are also know that Girijan honey bottles and some other aroma oils, roots, barks, leaves, all these contents, they are own their issues, right? Another important feature, another important right which is provided by this act is right to use fishing and other products of water bodies. Forest is nothing but different types of floras and faunas existing in that. At the same time, there are some water bodies. So that's why tribal people, they are used the water body issues like fishes, either materials of which they produce into the water bodies. And next one is grazing and traditional seasonal products. They are also use products like some other seasonal issues like fruits and flowers, or bamboo sticks, bamboo baskets, brooms, and as well as some other products which they produce, which the forest produce, they are consumed and as well as consumed for their own purpose and as well as to purchase in the market, to sold in the market. So this is a great opportunity for the tribal people. So then another important thing is, another important information, right for conversion of pattas or leases, patta, registration lands or leases are grants issued by the local bodies and as well as state governments. My dear students, I given a small example those who are living in forest areas without any own pattas, own registration lands, they are available, they are eligible to they are getting own lands, maximum 4 hectares of land, they are their own registration. This is an eligibility criteria. Pattas and as well as leases of the lands or something issued by the local communities and as well as governments, either state governments or local bodies. By the authorization of these two bodies, tribals having a right getting their own pattas, own registration lands and as well as lease licenses. So it is very important thing for their free livelihood in the free environment regarding in forest regions. And another important issue is right to settlement and conversion of forest villages, old habitations, unsurvived villages and other villages in the forest. So there are so many villages and hamlets existing in the forest, outer part of the boundaries of the forest, they are easily to conversion. Unsurvived villages or forest villages and habitats are submerged into the forest. That is in a Forest Right Act gives great support of that hamlets. So it is very useful for the free existing life of tribals in the tribal villages. So another important thing is, important feature and important right which provided by the Forest Right Act gives to tribal people, right to protect, regenerate or conserve or manage any community forest resources. By this act, tribal people getting a right, that is any protected regenerated things also consume and manage any community forest resources held by the tribal people. Tribal people regenerates their own resources and conserve and protected materials protected by the tribal people for their long life, and as well as manage and how to manage and how to community forest resources increases their own individual in the sense. Forest Right Act gives the forest people, tribal people, regenerate the resources of the forest and as well as conserve the forest resources and as well as manage the forest resources by its own way. It is a great support of this act to the tribal people. And another, the last important thing is right to protect biodiversity. We are know about biodiversity centers are existing in the forest. So the tribal people getting a right to protect the biodiversity. Biodiversity is nothing but differentiation in between one organ to another organ is nothing but biodiversity. There are number of species, floras and faunas which is existing on forest lands. There must be encourages the biodiversity. That is the right which provided by the Forest Conservation Forest Right Act in 2006, and as well as social and their protect their social, cultural and economic sense in the particularly forest region people. So finally I conclude, right to protect biodiversity by the forest people, and they are encourages or improving their social, economical and cultural system. It's its own way. All these points regarding to the Forest Rights Act. So I conclude this session. There are two types of views regarding Forest Right Act. The first one is positive view and second one is a negative view. Positive view is, whenever we giving all these facilities, tribal people, they are utilizing their rights for protection of environment. Why? Because they are thinking about their own livelihoods depends upon forest. This is a positive thing. Some other people, they are thinking about the negative way. What is the negative way? The negative way belongs to, whenever we giving the all rights to the tribals, then tribals then misuse their resources or over utilization, or they are encouraged to deforest and they are discourage the biodiversity, all these things. Then this is a negative things of some of the peoples, not but all the people. Some of the people, they are thinking all these rights misused by the tribals, it is in a drastic fell down of the forest and forest resources, so that it is in a negative approach of the people. But we finally conclude, they are freely to enjoy the forest resources. By giving a Forest Right Act, tribals is also one of the happiest people in India. Okay, next I will continue my lecture session, CAA Bill Act.